Okay, good morning. So we're up to Siman Reish Lamed Aleph. Interesting Siman Shekol Kavanoisov Yu L'Shem Shemayim. That every action that a person does should be L'Shem Shemayim. So this is, though it's a halacha Mishnah Berurah, this is pure Musa. Says the Mechaber, If a person can't learn, afternoon Seder without, or later that evening, without a rest in the afternoon, without sleeping in the afternoon, Yishan, a person should sleep. And when he wakes up from his afternoon shluf, he doesn't need to say that like he would do in the morning. And some say that he should say Vinam before he goes to bed. But he shouldn't sleep for too long. That he shouldn't sleep longer than a horse sleeps. Shehu Shisin Nishmi. So we'll define exactly what that is. It's 60 breaths, literally. And even if he sleeps a short amount, it shouldn't just be for the pleasure of it, but in order to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So let's just do the Mishnah Berurah on that. So if he can't sort of learn in the afternoon, I remember Rabbi Roberts, my father once told me that he used to go to Shir. Rabbi Roberts used to give it in his house on Wednesday night, and there was one other person there who came he was a hard-working man. He came to the Shir, and without, he just fell asleep. And Rabbi Roberts said, listen, you're a hard-working man, you're a good man. When you get home in the afternoon, in the evening, just lie down in your bed for 10 minutes. Have a power nap. That will give you koach to stay awake for the Shir. So that's what it is. Without some sort of rest, then Ayin El B'Siman Dalet Siv Tezayin of Mishnah Berurah, Sivkot and Beis, Uchashaneh Mishnah, also when he wakes up from an afternoon shluf, Efsha Hatam, the Niskan Bracha Zu Al Min Haga Shel Olam, Shakadosh Baruch Hu Machzeh Neshamas Levnei Adam B'Boker. Why don't you say the kind of Neshama after a rest in the afternoon? Because the Minhag Olam is you sleep at night, and Chazal only instituted this bracha for the normal situation, which is when you wake up in the morning. Some say, says the Ramah, that you say V'hinoyam before an afternoon rest. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Mishum Sakonis Mazikin, for Kosav Alavush, Ein Noagin Kain, that we are not knowing like this. If you have a shluf in the afternoon, you don't need to do anything, you just have a shluf. Yoisim Shish Nas Hasus, Ayin Le'el B'Siman Daled. Take a look at Siman Daled, Siv Tezai, Mashe Kosav Mishnah Berurah, B'Shem Hamachatzis HaShekel. Now, if you look at number 5, so he says, Kosav, there, in the Shatzion, Inyan Hashena B'Yom Tolel Fi Mashu Adam. It all depends on you as an individual. Everyone knows what their own abilities are, and if you need to sleep, you need to sleep. For Kosav Orach HaShulchan Shekeinu in the L'Gdolei Olam. Says the Orach HaShulchan, I saw great people, Shahu Yoshenim B'Yom Shah Shtayim, they could sleep for an hour or two in the afternoon, Shekach Chutzruchu L'Fi Chalishosam L'Fi Hanagosam. That, everyone has their own, they know their own self. Adam Yodeh, what's the lashon we said earlier this morning, Chaim? A person named Moras Nafshe. A person knows his own constitution, his own body, and if you feel that you'll be more productive by having a rest in the afternoon, then says the Orach HaShulchan, I've seen Gedolei Olam who would do it because that enhanced their learning for the afternoon. I think in the yeshiva world, it's very common to have a short rest at lunchtime. It's very hard mentally to be alert, for 12 hours a day. It's, to learn, and it's very hard. So to have a rest in the afternoon in order to help you learn better in the afternoon Seder or evening Seder, then that's certainly okay. Now, regarding Shisin Nishmin, so he says in the next paragraph, in paragraph 5, Le'inyan Shisin Nishmin Kosav Be'halacha Le'el, 3 days. What exactly is this 60 breaths of a horse? So Aleph Gimel Shois, one means 3 hours. Base is Yosim Mechatzishah, more than half an hour, you shouldn't sleep. And Gimel Ma'ad Yosim Mishalish Dakas, 3 minutes. V'Siyim Shabal Nefesh Yach Ma'alatzim Kafi Koicha. Okay, whatever you can be machmir for yourself according to your ability. So I think we like to go for the 3 hour one. But either way, there are 3 days, 3 hours, 30 minutes, or 3 minutes. Okay, that's Shisin Nishmin. Now the Mechaber, talking about, he says everything, whatever is needed for you, Avodas Hashem, he then goes on and talks about that concept generally. So continuing the Mechaber, we're 4 lines down in the Mechaber, Reish Lamed Aleph. There's only one sif. And this is true generally. Whatever a person will get benefit in this world, the person shouldn't just live an indulgent life. He should only do it to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Know HaKadosh Baruch Hu in all your actions. That all a person's actions should be l'shem shamayim. Even voluntary sort of non-mitzvah things, eating and drinking and walking and sitting, getting up, and relationships, and just talking, whatever you need to do to function. To be L'Shem Shemaim, or something which is going to enhance your avodas Hashem. Even if a person is very thirsty and very hungry, if a person just eats to indulge, that's not considered praiseworthy. A person should do all of that in order to serve Hashem. Even to sit with the upright counsel, or to sit with tzadikim, with the wise, perfect people. If he does it just in a sort of for his own benefit or pleasure, that's not ideal. And also l'shem shemaim, he should do things l'shem shemaim. And so too with resting. Person shouldn't sleep when he should be learning or doing other things. That's for sure not. We're not talking about that. And even when a person is tired, and therefore it's appropriate for him to rest. If he's just doing it to indulge, that's not a good thing. And a person should focus and do this in order to sort of recharge his guf, that he shouldn't sort of get confused and not be able to focus in a share or whatever. Even at the times where he has responsibilities to be mishamish, if it's again self-indulgent, that's not considered praiseworthy. Even if he wants to father children so that he can have more sort of workers in the factory or whatever it is, that's to have children who can raise children to avodas Hashem. Or to fulfill the mitzvah, like someone who's discharging a duty, so too with talking, even if it's like a wise thing, to do this l'shem shemaim, or something which will bring about improved avodas Hashem. The bottom line is, a person has got to focus on in his heart and his eyes, lishkal al kol ma'asav b'oznish sichlei, to sort of balance things properly. If this is going to help avodas Hashem, then great, and if not, then don't do it. Someone who does that, his focus is, what does HaKadosh Baruch Hu want from me right now? That is considered oved es beirei tomid. It is always being oved Hashem. A very powerful concept. I think we mentioned in the past that, if you think about it, do you get reward for sleeping? So, that's a lot of time. A person sleeps, the Rambam says 8 hours a night. That means you live for 90 years, you slept for 30 years. Yeah, per halva, right? You slept 6 hours a night. You go to bed at 11, you get up at 5. So that means you slept 6 hours. You live for 80 years, that means 20 years has been in bed. Right? I live for 100 years, 25 years. Either way, you're spending a lot of time sort of horizontal. Right? Do you get rewarded for that? So it all depends on your kavanah. If your kavanah is just, I like shluffing or just nothing, then it's parav, then it's nothing. But if a person goes to bed, I'm recharging the batteries to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then Misha Noken over this buried Talmud. And it's a powerful thing. You're sort of changing the whole perspective. You're changing something which is very parav and something which is very positive. Okay. Let's just do the Mishnah Berurah on that. Sif Cotton, hey, we're up to. When a person eats, he should eat l'shem shemaim. I saw people of stature, before they would eat, they would say, I'm eating, and the person says this, I'm doing this l'shem shemaim, I have strength to serve Hashem. Yeah, okay, so you're sitting with good people. That's better than sitting with bad people. At least you'll come here, mitech shaloi lishma. You're doing it, I don't know, for your own covered or whatever it is, but mitech shaloi lishma bo lishma. Yitzchav shule bonim, to have the idea to have children, like I say, to work in the factory or to join the business. That's not the ideal reason to have children. Which we'll get there in Hashem. It's all to do with your own kavanah. If your conversation is business oriented, that's okay. But have in mind that business can also be a mitzvah. I'm earning an honest living. I won't have to steal. Even if he's very wealthy, he has enough what to live on. Sometimes for him to increase his business is actually considered a mitzvah. How so? Because the more he works, the more money he'll generate, and therefore he can do great things with that money. Or he can buy businesses to help other people who are struggling to find work, to help them, that they've got work to have, and they can live. And that's actually a very high level of stalker. Remember the 8 levels of stalker. The Rambam brings a move with the Simon Rishon Aleph. That a person who helps a person who's come on tough times, and he's giving them work, and you won't have to come on and ask others for help. Of so by doing that, by helping others, what's the lashon of Work Avenue? Give a man a fish, he's got supper, but teach him how to fish, then he's got panos for the rest of his life, whatever, something like that, a bit more catchy. But the point is, he's been mekayim the mitzvah of a mota yoda imach vechezak the boy. It's fulfilling that mitzvah asay min haTorah.